Hello, and welcome to another episode of Be a Leader podcast, where we talk about current events in sports, military, and business through the lens of leadership. I hope everyone's staying warm. We still have snow here in Dallas, so I'm enjoying the view. And I know college football is done, but we're going to talk one more time about a college football topic, and that is Fernando Mendoza. Again, he grew up in Miami. Miami didn't want him. He was this two-star recruit. They did not even let him walk on. And then years later, he's beating University of Miami in the city of Miami for the national championship. How did this happen? We're going to talk about 5 reasons, 5 key things on how Fernando Mendoza, as a two-star recruit, has become a national champion, won the Heisman, and is the favorite for the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. So let's start with the first one. If I had to ask you right now, who are you? Would you be able to answer that question with conviction? Okay. Fernando Mendoza knows who he is. He talks about his Cuban heritage all the time. He talks about his Catholic faith all the time. He talks about his family, including his mom, who has multiple sclerosis, all the time. He talks about his business ideas. He talks about football. He is a man who gives it his all. He does not shrink back. People think he might be a little weird or different. He doesn't change himself for other people. He gives everything he has all the time. When I ask people this question, I'm like, who are you? It's so easy to talk about titles or accomplishments or the career, the jobs they have. But when you strip those away, often the identity collapses. It's part of the reason why military members have such a hard transition after the military, especially in the Marine Corps. It can be so hard. But let's talk about the Marine Corps. Why the identity is such a big deal. When you go to officer camp, school, or boot camp, they strip away that previous civilian identity. And they build you into someone different. You earn the Eagle Globe and Anchor. You are now a United States Marine. Why? Because your old self wouldn't be able to do all those crazy things that are required of you in combat. But when you become this new identity of United States Marine, you are becoming that person with that legacy behind you to do the things that are super duper hard, right? That take a lot of courage and sacrifice because you're someone new. You'll never be the same again. It's so important. Identity, everything flows from identity. When I've coached my college basketball players, when I coach my high school players now, I tell them, if you think you can't do it, you're right. And if you think you can do it, you're right. It all starts with how you see yourself, because the way you see yourself is going to impact everything you do. Your thoughts, your feelings, your decisions, your actions, the results you get, they all stem from who you are. Stop worrying about what other people think of you. It's such a drain. If you're so worried about all the other people out there, you will spend so much energy, mental, emotional, physical energy, worrying about everyone else. Fernando Mendoza did not care about what other people thought. He was criticized during the season. Oh, like he wears his emotion on his shoulder. He looks in the camera too much, or he's not like other players, like we're used to seeing. He was himself. And because he was himself, not using his energy on worrying about other people, but just on being him, he was great. For all of us, our power comes from us being great, being ourselves. So I ask that question again. Do you know who you are? When you strip the accomplishments, the titles, the career, who are you? Fernando Mendoza knows and it shows. All right. Let's move on to the second one. Who has your back when things fall apart? Confidence is great. It says, I've done this before. But faith says, even if things go wrong, I'm okay. Confidence, it comes from repetition. Faith comes from spiritual grounding. Okay, you do need both if you want to go far. For Mendoza, his spiritual grounding was tied to his Catholic faith. He talked about it often. Part of his pregame ritual was daily mass, was praying the rosary. He had a social support system with Dominican friars. He felt like the universe had his back. And that's a powerful feeling that we all need to feel. I remember during my time at McKinsey and Company, there's a very small elite executive coaching group inside of McKinsey and Company. I was very curious about getting into it. I was networking, talking to coaches that were in there. And of course, I asked for what the requirements were. And there was one that caught my attention. And that was you needed to have some kind of spiritual grounding. And I was curious, what do you mean you need to be spiritual? I'm just curious, right? And they told me, if you're not grounded in something bigger than yourself, then how can you lead other people through their chaos? The spiritual grounding is so important so that we don't get swayed. So that's the question for you. What grounds you when everything starts to shake? All right, let's go to the third one. How many times have you tried to force something to happen that was not meant to happen? All right. Mendoza wanted to go to Miami. It was his dream. He grew up there. He was a fan. He always wanted to play there. He was just a few miles away from the school all his life, all right, most of his life. He could have forced it. He could have forced the issue, but instead he took an opportunity, and that opportunity took him across the country to the University of California in Berkeley. Okay. Think about the Rudy story. It's a great movie. It's entertaining. It's inspiring. Rudy had to force. He did everything he could to get on the team, and they gave him like one, rep in the game. But he was never started. He didn't play a whole lot. He didn't help his team win. He never became a champion, right? Fernando Mendoza could have been the Miami Rudy. He could have done that, but he chose opportunity over romance. Yes, it's an amazing story. You're captivated by it, but he took opportunity, and look where it took him. I hear this all the time when I used to coach college basketball with recruits that would come. And oftentimes I'd ask them, like, why do you really want to play college basketball? And I'd hear this often, because I want to prove them wrong. I want to prove them wrong. Prove who wrong? Well, all the people told me I could never make it to college basketball. They told me you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, you'll never make it to college. I want to prove them wrong. I was just like, that's only going to take you so far. What happens when you start running out of energy or this or that? Like, it's only going to take you so far. I see it also with entrepreneurs when I work with them, and they're so hell bent. I'm like, this is the best solution. This is the best solution for the market. And they just need to know it, because look at the data. Look at this. It's the best thing. And they're forcing solutions on the market rather than understanding what the market really needs and delivering that side. It's so easy as entrepreneurs or startup founders to force a solution rather than really understand what's needed. Sometimes leadership is recognizing this door's closed. This door's open. I'm curious what happens if I go through there. Fernando recognized that. And you can too. Remember, dreams matter. But opportunities are the doors that are actually open to you. Forcing closed doors, it just takes a lot of energy. You might drain all your time just wrestling with it. You might be able to cricket. You might force yourself in a place that you're not even wanted. It takes a lot of energy. But going where you're wanted is going to accelerate your growth. Okay. What door are you forcing right now that should be closed? And let's move on to the fourth reason. Are you surrounded by people who believe in you? Or people that are pushing you to play small? Mendoza, Miami didn't want him. Cal gave him an opportunity. Through the opportunity, he was able to earn playing time, starting time, a lot of data statistics. Coach Signetti, potential, production over potential, brings him to Indiana. Now he's a national champion. And in the fourth down, they gave him the ball. In the fourth down, Coach Signetti says, I want you to have the ball. Give us a first down. He gave him a first down and a touchdown, and they became national champions. In the Marine Corps, trust and confidence is essential. We work so hard. We take those newly formed Marines and we train and we train and train. And the unit needs to have cohesion and trust and confidence in itself, because in combat and battle, it is chaos. And if you don't have trust and confidence, you're compromising the mission. The team is compromised. You need to have it. Fernando found an environment that believed in him, that gave him opportunity, that gave him challenges to get better and better and better. Our environment shapes us more than our intentions. We might have all the other things. We might have great talent, great discipline, great work ethic. But if you're in an environment that's constraining you, right, that doesn't believe in you, you're going to be held back. I had this with my coach. I got coached on this too, right? And the question is, you might, again, have all the talents, all the discipline, all the hard work, and you're fighting against your environment. What if the environment had your back and was pushing you to be great? What if you didn't have to fight all those things? Imagine how far you could get. Sometimes the greatest breakthrough is on the other side of a great breakup. It might be people, it might be places, it might be habits that you have that do not support who you're trying to become. And that's the question I have for you here. Do you have people who believe in you, who are coaching you, who are helping you become your greatest, who are giving you the ball on 4th down? All right, let's move on to the 5th one, the last one. Do you see yourself as a leader? See, we all learn from each other. We learn by seeing people, what they do, what they don't do, the results they have, the results they don't have. We learn from each other. You can either hide back or you can step forward. You can either lead yourself or let other people lead you. You can either put yourself out there, hold yourself back. Okay? It is a choice that you have. Fernando Mendoza chose to step forward and lead himself through those opportunities and those challenges, and look where it led him. It led him to winning the Heisman. And he said something in his Heisman acceptance speech that is very powerful that I want to share here. He said, I want every kid out there who feels overlooked or underestimated to know I was you. I was that kid too. You don't need the most stars, hype, or rankings. You need discipline, heart, people who believe in you, and you need to believe in yourself. Those were Mendoza's words. See, he didn't become a leader after the success. He had the success because he was leading himself. He stepped into being a leader, and the success spoke for itself. Self-leadership. Leadership is not about a title. It's about how you show up, how you prepare, how you push through, how you respond through things. Okay? It's whether you give it everything you have or you hold back. And we've seen enough with Fernando Mendoza in his interviews. He said, I don't hold back. I give it everything and see what happens. How much can we benefit ourselves too that we stop holding back? Just give it a chance with everything you got and see what happens. So that's the question I have for you. Where are you in your life? Are you still holding back? Are you leading yourself? So that leads us to our main takeaways. Here we've got one, college basketball whiteboard, with the main 5 here. So the first one, identity fuels confidence. Who you are is so important. Who you believe you are will determine what you do, how you think, how you feel, the actions you take, everything. Identity is so important. Everything starts from identity. Second, spiritual grounding provides stability. When things get messy, who has your back? Hopefully you feel like the universe has your back. It's very powerful. Spiritual grounding is essential. Third, opportunity beats forced outcomes. We have all probably experienced trying to force things to happen. Fernando Mendoza could have forced Miami. He could have been the Miami Rudy. And rather than that, he took opportunities. And the opportunity led him back to Miami, beating that team, winning the national championship. Fourth, environment shapes growth. Fernando Mendoza found coaches who believed in him, gave him opportunities, challenged him, and coached him to be great. It's a secret sauce for all of us. Do you have a coach who believes in you, challenges you, and helps you become great? Fifth, leadership is lived. You step forward into it. You take the driver's seat. It could have been so easy for him to make excuses and complain about the coaching staff at the university or whatever else. Could have been easy to complain about anything. But rather he says, doors closed. Where's opportunity? He went after it, and he kept doing that over and over and over again with all these 5 here. And again, a 2-star. Winning the Heisman, winning the national championship, projected to be number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Fernando Mendoza did it. You can too. Here's a question I have for you. What would your life look like if you stopped worrying about other people thought of you? If you stopped trying to force these doors open? If you found people who actually believed in you? If you stepped into leadership like you meant it? Again, Fernando Mendoza was a 2-star recruit. Now he's national champion. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to go is the commitment, the decision, the commitment to make things happen. And I get it. You might you might hear those things and be like, okay, great. Like, what do I do with it? I don't feel confident. I don't feel like a leader. I have something for you. I've created this program. It's called the Confident Leader Bootcamp, a live program designed guaranteed to make you feel confident and like a leader so you can lead your life. Don't take my words for it. Take a look at the website description. Read the testimonies of other people who have done it. It can change your life. These 5 can change your life. This program can change your life. Stop wishing, start doing. That's my challenge to you today. And with that, we're done for today's episode of Be a Leader podcast. Thank you for listening. Remember, whether you're leading yourself, leading others, or leading leaders, be a leader. My name is Daniel Pinedo. Thank you. Until next time.